Right, hello again, Colin Woolway here. Here's another drum lesson for Rhythm Magazine, your entry level. This time we're talking about ghost notes. Now, ghost notes are quite often confused by drummers as grace notes, and they are not the same thing. A ghost note is a muted, quietly played note. If a bass player or a guitar player mutes their strings and then plucks the strings with no discernible pitch, those are ghost notes. Drummers play ghost notes as very, very light taps, and typically we employ them when playing a groove. So I'll give you a very simple example of a ghost note. If I play a simple groove like so, now that groove has a backbeat and then another snare drum note that's kind of independent of the hi-hat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute that note and play that real quiet, and that's going to be my ghost note. Get the idea? Now, what my early definition of a ghost note when playing a groove is a note that's so nearly not there that you'd only notice it if it wasn't there. So let's embellish this slightly. I'll stick in a few more grace notes. What I'll do is I'll play the groove with everything at the same dynamic level. Then I'll introduce the independent snares as ghost notes. So this is my groove. So let's keep the backbeat at the same dynamic level, but we'll ghost all the others. And then what I'll do is I'll drop them out and put them back in again, and I think you'll get an idea of what I mean. Get the idea? Let's speed that up a bit. That's the basic idea. So your practice is to try and get the ghost note as muted as you can and maintain the level of the backbeat. Okay, try that out, and then we'll try something else out in example 2. Now then, for example 2, I'm going to play a shuffle like this. Now we usually refer to to triplets as the first, second and third partial of a triplet. And what I'm playing with the shuffle is the first and the third partial. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. And what I'm going to do is introduce second partial as a ghost note. And that comes, if this is confusing you, this comes between the first and the second hi-hat and bass drum note. So I'm going, okay, I'm going to stick a ghost note in that gap. And I'm going to do it every time before the backbeat. This gives my shuffle a nice little rolling feel. Now, to demonstrate this again, I'll play it without the ghost note, then with the ghost note, then I'll take it out and then I'll put it back in, and you'll see the difference. The impression I'm trying to give is that you don't really notice the ghost note until it's gone. See if I can get this right. See what I mean? Get the idea. Okay, have a go with that. It's all written out in the magazine. Check the text. Make sure you understand what you're doing, and we'll move on. Okay, example 3. Here is a sneaky little trick that I know you're going to like. Imagine playing a 16th note double-handed groove on the hi-hat like so. Okay, very good, very simple. Now, what I'm going to do though is I'm going to put the left hand on the snare. I'm going to play those as ghost notes. So I want to make them as muted as possible. So it'll sound like an 8th note groove, but with this barely discernible sort of churning going underneath. You'll see what I mean. See, I went into a kind of a double time country thing there, but there's the ghosting on the snare really gives it, it really fills it out and makes it churn along. There you go. So ghosting 16ths. Try that out and we'll move on. So the 4th example, I'm going to do the same sort of thing as example 3, but these are triplets. So I'm playing, if I play that here, of course beat 2 is a natural backbeat. So if I add the bass, I'm going to get and let's play the bass drum or 4 to the floor. So I'm going to get So if I do that sort of thing without the ghosting, you get, it doesn't roll along quite so well. If I keep the left hand in, so I'm playing hand-to-hand triplets, but I play them as ghosts, it just kind of shuffles along and rolls along nicely. Get the idea. There you go, ghost notes.